This is a fight over what the definition of a Jew is. According to Israel, Japan is to the Japanese what Israel is to the Jews. I say Japan is to the Japanese what Israel is to the Israelis. Yeah.
Deze geest en we zorgen zijn. De hartige toek komt helemaal zinnen. Dat weet ik eerst niet eens. Slag echt.
Daily government, shame on you!
Aj, bästa sista. Cheers.
Met een grondgoeding gemaakt.
Matters, the statistics show wars, terrorism. Israel is more dangerous, anti-Semitism notwithstanding. So my question to you is, how much of a premium are you willing to pay? Do you think it's worth? How many Jews should be killed for this insurance policy in case there's a Holocaust and in case Israel is safe? Doesn't mean we'll be able to get there. The truth of the matter is, it could be, you know, if Iran, God forbid, gets a nuclear bomb and threatens Israel, they're coming here, we're not going there. I don't see my friends over here running into bomb shelters when the siren goes off. We don't have missiles over here. Now, if in the eventuality...
And I can argue with that, Rabbi.
You
have the Six-Day War, you have the Yom Kippur War.
That's all fine, and how many Jews were killed in those wars? Now here's my question.
Go ahead, Rabbi.
Now here's my question. How many Jews do you think is worth getting killed in wars for the premium for this insurance policy in case Israel ends up a safe place?
I don't think my answer to you is I don't think Jews are getting killed because of the state of
so
Israel.
Statistics say...
Why is I gotta ask something.
He's got a question.
Why is Satmar Hasidim getting, punched out in Williamsburg? Williamsburg is not Israel.
Oh, that's a good point. Why the Hasidim?
There is anti-Semitism plenty of places. The question is where it's worse. They're not blowing up Jews anywhere in the world like they are in Israel. Statistical fact.
Not in Argentina. Wait, Argentina?
More Jews were killed in Israel than any other place where Jews lived since the founding of Israel. In fact, more than everywhere else put together.
Everywhere.
Wait. During different times in different places. Yes, there's anti-Semitism everywhere. But when I say that Israel is Israel's cause of political conflict that results in death of Jews, you can't ask me, well, there was anti-Semitism before Israel. If I tell you that cell phones cause cancer, and you tell me, well, no, there was cancer before cell phones. Is that a response?
That's not a fair
example. It's a very fair example.
That's not a fair example.
Respond to it. I'm saying that in Israel, because it's Israel, because of the conflict, Jews get killed. Well, how can anybody dispute that?
Where do you want them to go?
I want them to go anywhere. If you want to know what I do want, then listen. Number one, they do claim they're my state. Netanyahu came here to Congress talking about Barack Obama's Iran deal and said, I represent not only Israel, but the Jews all over the world. He does not represent me, nobody elected. They made a law that they are the nation state of all Jews all over. Not that merely I can come there if I want. That was true before the recent nation state law that they passed this past year.
Law was, in effect, it was a known thing anyway.
No, it was not. But you know what? I want them to change that. You're right. That is Zionist.
Okay, let's say they do. Let's say they do. Then what?
Number one, that will reduce anti-Semitism to whatever extent it does. It's completely unnecessary anti-Semitism. Two, I want them to stop calling themselves the Jewish states. I want them to stop with this policy that they represent the Jewish people. I want them to change their Declaration of Independence to say we're
abolish the law of return.
I want them to say that they are a state of their citizens. Maybe they don't have to call themselves Israel or call themselves Herzlstan or something.
Okay.
And be a regular country, because it's just factually untrue. It's unfair to the Jews all over the world and to the non-Jewish citizens there. But to the Jews all over the world, it's unfair for them to drag me into their nationalism. I just don't want it. That's all I'm asking. They can stay there if they want. They can come here. They can do whatever they want. All I want is for me to be able to stay here without having some country in the Middle East claim that it's my country, or that Prime Minister represents me.
I just want to make a point.
Would you sit down with the Iranian Prime Minister like other people do?
You mean like Netanyahu sits down with
Well, no. Well, he's the head of a state. There's a big difference.
Wait, no.
Would you? Because Notori Karta sits down with him. Would you sit down with him?
Depends for what. If I'm not friends with
An anti-Zionist, a show of
Like, what do they gain? Make it this way. The viewers are going to be watching this. They want to know, right? But does it upset you as a viewer when you see them sitting with them?
You're changing the subject to no. We're discussing over here what we're doing here. So
right.
Tell me, go condemn this one or
No,
that
but a
one.
lot of people
I'm
mix
not
you guys up with
so
Notori
let me
Karta. That's
just-
why
so
I'm
let me
trying.
just tell you the difference, okay? We are not involved at all with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In fact, it's people ask me all the time when we do things like this.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish.
Sorry,
I
man.
do.
I don't know. That's what I'm just Go ahead. Finish it. I'm sorry.
You see, this is part of the problem. You see what he said? You call for this, you call for that. That's stereotyping of Jews.
But finish what you're saying. So this demonstration has nothing to do with Notori Karta?
No, nothing. Now, the difference between other anti-Zionist Jews and Notori Karta is that Notori Karta involves themselves in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict on the side of the Palestinians. To me, as I explained, Israel has as much to do with me as China does. And if China would claim to be the state of the Jews or to represent the Jewish people, do you think any Jew would go to, let's say, I don't know, China has a conflict with Japan. Do you think any Jew would go to Japan with Japanese flags to protest against? No, why? Because what do you care what those guys say? That is our attitude towards Israel. Yeah. Who murdered Yaakov Dahan? The Zionists.
The Zionists. Yaakov Dahan had his own issues. He was a pedophile.
Excuse me. Yaakov Dahan was murdered by Avram Tahomi.
Yeah, I know.
He said, and he wasn't the head. He wasn't the head. He was whatever. And he said that he did it because he was ordered. He was ordered by Ben Tzvi.
Yeah, came out last week. A letter from him that he sent
Mr. Dahan was a pedophile.
And he did it. No, he wasn't. The Zionist claim he was.
That's a Zionist lie.
But
Zionist lie.
Avram Tahomi says he did it because he put Zionism in danger. They don't care about whatever he was. They care about one thing.
A lot of pedophiles.
Because he dared to contradict Zionism. For that, he deserved to die. So you know what? They save some, they kill some. Please, do me a favor. Bottom line is, it's safer in America, it's safer anywhere Jews live, than in Israel if you're Jew. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Police and I even say, Zionist, if you're not a Zionist, we're all Jews, we're all responsible.
Didn't you just justify the killing of a Jew, Yaakov Dahan? I said they killed Yaakov Dahan. You said, well, he had other problems. Is that v'yahavta l'reacha kamocha?
No.
A Jew is murdered, and you say, well, he was a pedophile. That's the answer. Do you understand what you said?
I understand what I'm saying.
Wow.
Mr. Dahan was a big
wow.
Big antagonist.
Wow.
He was a security threat. Dahan was a security threat.
Oh, a security threat.
He was a security threat.
So they killed him.
Israelis, yes.
With a trial? He was a security threat. It's security.
I'm not saying
so if you have to unless the Zionists consider them a security threat.
No.
I said over here that the Zionists said, there are Zionist officials in the government that said the Haredi community is a greater threat, an existential threat to Zionism, which is exactly what Tahomi said as to why he killed Dahan. Okay?
Nobody's killing Haredi.
Excuse me, not yet.
Never,
okay?
Rabbi,
Nobody's killing Dahan. That's what they said beforehand. They said well, after Dahan was killed, the Zionists deny it. Or who blew up the Iraqi restaurants and threw a grenade into a synagogue to herd the Iraqi Jews into Israel? Well, did you ever hear of the Lavon affair in Egypt?
Of course we heard of
Oh yeah, you know that Israel denied for 50 years. Israel denied. Well, no. Nobody would say. Nobody.
Everybody is flawed.
Not a question of flaw. It's not a question of flawed. It's a question of attacking your own people and fear-mongering against your own own people. Yeah, let's say America's flawed, you know, Iran, Iraq, whatever, maybe they shouldn't go to war, whatever it is. But you tell me one thing, and you're defending Zionism under the guise of they're the biggest Jew haters, they're biggest enemies of Jews, the Tehran children, the Yemenite children, the Yaakov Dahan, the Lavon affair. Now they denied for 50 years.
Nobody said they're
perfect. You're talking about murderers, people that blew up Jewish.
I mean, there was slavery in
not
America.
Perfect,
there was slavery in America was founded on. There's a lot of things wrong.
But America didn't glorify the slave owners, but Israel, after 50 years of denying it, honored the people who blew up the places in Egypt under the Lavon affair. That's the difference. Do you know that Israel has streets named after terrorists?
What terrorists?
Did you hear of?
The Irgun, of course. David Raziel, I know.
Exactly. People who blew up the King David Hotel.
The King David, that's another issue.
No, it's not another issue.
The King David, there was warnings about the King David.
Israel claims there was, and even if Israel claims there was, we weren't there. They denied, but they denied that they were there. No, there's not. There's not.
Why was the Palestine Post evacuated? Why was the French embassy evacuated?
No. Israel.
Because the guy said.
My first instinct was protesting anti-vaxxers in Brooklyn.